Yo, what's going on, guys? Explosive Chris from Union Arena HQ here. I'm here with.
Tony.
Hey, Tony, how's it going? So
Oh, it's good.
all good, all good. I see you topped with order, right? You came 14th place.
Yeah, that's right.
So tell us a little about the deck. What made you choose this? What made you gravitate towards this?
So, honestly, it was supposed to be a joke at first. Everyone is clinging very hard to Yellow Sakamoto. It's a much stronger deck, in my opinion. And I didn't really see too many people in my locals building purple, so I thought to myself, you know what? Let's test it out. Let's give it a shot. And as I was practicing with it, it felt very like Yu-Gi-Oh esque, and I come from Yu-Gi-Oh, so started to just learn the mechanics more and more. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Since I already topped in Virginia, let's just have fun with it. So I took a fun deck that I enjoyed playing at my locals, practicing with the proxies to Orlando. It's a fresh deck coming out, and I thought to myself, let's just do it. Let's run for it. I thought to myself I would have a pretty strong advantage. The Sakamoto was just going to be a fresh release, and not many people are going to know Purple Order. Everyone's going to be so fixated on yellow and knowing how to counter it, and it paid off. A lot of people did not know how my purple order deck worked, what to bottom deck, what to kill, nothing. So, it really paid off to kind of sneak this deck in there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, without further ado, let's go through the deck and why you chose certain cards, and I'll leave it to you. Take it away.
All right, perfect. So, as our first card is our zero cost Taro Sakamoto. It's 2000, just very simple, big beater, just to run over 1500s, kind of block him out for some of those smaller cards. It especially worked pretty good if I was going to go against Shadow Army with those Shadow Soldiers being pushed up so early game. So that's why we play that, obviously, and it's also one of my raid targets. Next card, which I think is one of my most important cards that I use throughout the entire like regionals itself, is my zero cost Nagamo. So 1K body, active trigger. Um, the point of him being there is just a sneaky extra damage, I should say. So being able to utilize my triggers on my turn and using an active trigger for him just makes him a 4K impact just to bypass everybody. A lot of decks don't play null impact. I think my biggest concern would have been just yellow Ava and Shadow Army, which I did play two of those decks. But getting rid of their null impacts just helps me bypass damage. So Nagamo, super important card. If you're running any type of order deck, I think this card needs to be in there 100%. Um, Next is Shishiba. The reason why I play Shishiba and not an Osaragi zero cost, the draw one, pitch one is very, very important to my deck because I need to be able to get my color trigger in the sideline as fast as possible. And more on that a little bit later, why we do that. But it's just a good filter just to be able to draw a pitch. Very simple. Maybe sometimes I want to get my raids in there just for later on, like Osaragi. I don't really like having her in my hand. It's kind of clunky. So if I get rid of her quickly, she becomes a raid target for later when I switch out the Nagamo. So I mean, that's why we kind of play Osaragi just to get through that stuff. The next card, this is one drop Sakamoto, I think is without a doubt one of the best things I've could have put in this deck. A lot of people first questioned me about it, and they wanted me to play the Hio search. He's a non-trigger though, so since my deck revolves around triggers, I took him out and I played this. Best thing I could have done. Playing him lets me look at the top three cards of my deck. I don't have to pitch, but if I find the color trigger, I do pitch him to get him out of there. So that way he becomes an extra body for later. But it also helps me manipulate my deck in whatever order I want and lets me plan my moves up 1 to 2 steps ahead. So it's like a game of chess, I think. I see like a final coming up in three. I just manipulate it, put it to my next draw, get an AP draw in. I mean, it was a lot of good plays I did with this card, and it's super, super important for it. Um, Next card, Nagamo. I think it's one of the most broken one costs in the game. To be honest, a get trigger that becomes an active or a draw, absolutely insane. I mean, people have hit that in my life, and I've had three energy and four drops in my hand. I'm thinking to myself, we'll use the get trigger. But then there's times where it hit my life and I can do it as an active or even a draw. I mean, that's just absolutely insane to get those options and those choices to really change the outcome of the game if you're kind of falling behind, if you need to keep your bodies on the field. So Nagamo, great. Definitely needed in this version of the deck. I know there's another order deck, but if you're playing Nagamo, you got to have him in there. Next, we talk about our two drop Nagamo color trigger. So there's a great combo with him. Obviously, one of the main combos is like rating our Ray Sakamoto, doing a top five search. So a lot of people kind of did not know this during the regionals, and they were really questioning me about it. Was that when you top five search and you find the Nagamo color trigger, you can actually pitch him, put the rest of the cards at the bottom of the deck, as the text says, and then activate the color trigger. What people don't understand is you can activate the color trigger and then bring him back because he's already placed in sideline and set there. And then the color trigger effect activates where you can bring him back and he just becomes a free body you play for pitching. It's absolutely insane. Something that sucked by a lot of people that they weren't really expecting it. So that was really, really good for me. Another great thing is, I mean, you can rate anyone on top of him. I've had Osaragi hit from my life, free Osaragi rate on top of him. Just great card, great combo. I mean, that my whole deck really revolves around that color trigger. So definitely really important to have in the deck. Um, our next card, Osaragi double energy. Not really much to say there. We needed some double energies, of course. So we need her obviously for our Osaragi raids. It's great to have. Like, I think one of my matches, she got pushed up from a Toto swap. It actually ended up benefiting me because I would just AP draw in every single turn, rebuild energy line, that she became a free 4K. So not much going on there, but I mean it's a great double energy to put. This next card, the Taro Sakamoto double energy, I got a lot of backlash on that. People were asking me why playing that over the Shishiba. The Shishiba is 100% a better double energy than the Taro Sakamoto. The reason why I have him there, I play tested maybe 5 hours before the day of regionals, and I could not find my Sakamotos. So I played him just so I have extra bodies because Sakamoto is extremely important to this build. I need to be able to have him on the field. He becomes an easy special target, which is fine with me because eventually I just bring him right back either with another raid or with a Sakamoto, with a Nagamo. I'm sorry. We do play only three restands. The restands aren't really too important in this deck. You can do a lot with 3 AP with this deck. I mean, flooding the board is just as simple as it could sounds, honestly. The next card is our Taro Sakamoto 4 drop. This card I played two of. I did play four of at one point, but two just is the magic number. I mean, playing him down, pitching a card, you can activate active trigger to restand him if you wanted to specifically for an extra attacker. There's some times where it was turn three, I had enough energy and I had played him. I got three free attacks. I mean, it was just a very simple little combo. He is pretty good when I need to do extra draws to filter my deck a little bit more. But mainly, I was using him for active triggers to either get my Nagamo for the impact or just to restand him for an extra attack or 7K in case someone hits an active trigger. He's the last one to go, either run over a body or take a life. So I did kind of measure my attacks a little bit better when I paid him on the field. Next is our raid. The no introduction there. Tower Sakamoto raid is crazy, man. Just raiding a card, getting to draw, you get like a restand on it. It's just absolutely nuts to just redo everything. I would activate its main before I even make my next move because I can find a draw trigger 9 out of 10 times between a draw trigger and an active. I'm pitching the draw trigger, getting an extra draw in, and I'm just filtering the deck pretty quickly. It does take some time when you're doing your top five search to manipulate your cards in the order you want, because eventually you're gonna bypass these cards a lot every time you do your top five search. I think at one of my matches I got down to 7 cards left. Like I was running through my deck pretty quickly. Um, so very important to just kind of manipulate your cards. I never ever put two cards together. So if I had a an active trigger and a draw trigger left over, I wouldn't put them side by side. I put one at the top and one on the bottom. So if we do another top five search again, we're not running into both of them. It gives us more of an opportunity to kind of be able to use multiple triggers if we have multiple Sakamotos on the field. So very important where you put your cards at and manipulate with this deck because if you put them too close together, you're gonna whiff. And there was a time I did whiff, so it can make the difference between completing your turn pretty well and getting more damage in there, or kind of just whiffing and just losing out. Um, Next card is our Nagamo raid. So Nagamo raid, super important. Um, that's when it came into the Shishiba. So if I had a Nagamo raid in my hand and I had the two drop, I would draw, pitch the two drop color trigger immediately. And then when it gets to my turn and I have enough energy, I would obviously raid one of our Nagamos so that way we can activate color trigger from the sideline, bring him out, and that's just a 1 AP double active body just to push out intense damage. I think I did that 5 out of my 8 games, and people are just like, "Whoa!" So I pushed up a small Sakamoto body, let's say, raid Nagamo, activate color trigger. That's 3 bodies with just 1 AP. My last 2 APs build the energy line. Now I have a full energy, 3 active bodies, with 3 APs, no restand needed. I'm going at your life for 3 just on turn 3. I mean, it's pretty intense how quickly you can just flood the board with active, ready to attack bodies and just go in there. So definitely great for Nagamo. I mean, there was a couple of times where I would pitch him and then re-raid another raid like Sakamoto. The best thing about this Nagamo raid is um, you can play down a rested card, raid, it becomes active, pitch him to re-raid a Sakamoto or Osaragi on another card, and now you just got a free active body with another different raid that helps you benefit more. Which then you would 5 drop Sakamoto, get an active trigger, put it on that baby. Now he's a 5K. So it's absolutely insane the kind of combos you can do with this deck if you really just put your mind to it. So that was amazing. Combos that I was able to put together. I think 2 days before. So really happy that we were able to come to the conclusion that this was the whole gist of my deck. Next is our special. I think this is the bread and butter of all specials. It's not a kill, it is a bottom deck. This saved me versus a red Ava match, which shout out to my boy David. I hate versing you, but geez, you made me sweat our match for sure. Um, Master of Disguise. If you have Nagamo on the field, you bottom deck a card. If you don't have Nagamo on the field, your opponent can either put it on the top of their deck or the bottom of their deck. Regardless, it gets it off the field. There is no sideline effect. I was able to use this on 2 separate matches where there was a sideline effect and it just completely bypasses it. It gets rid of the card. They can't activate sideline. Screws over Red Ava immediately. So I did that during my match, my sixth match, and it helped me just tremendously. So that way it doesn't give my opponent any edge. Fortunately, it does not work against Ray, Yellow Ava Ray. Man, I hate that card so much, but it it does not help us at all, fortunately. So yeah, great special. I think any special that bottom decks a card and removes it from the game technically and doesn't put it in the sideline, great special in my opinion. And then finally we have our Osaragi. Osaragi was kind of my win condition. I would play her last second to try and get that impact 1 damage 2. I didn't use her as much as I wish I did. I think I maybe played her 3 or 4 matches out of the 8. Usually my win condition was just swarming the field and just overstepping on BP and just running people's field over. But when we did use Osaragi, it was great to get that extra AP draw, play her, get the attack damage to. I think I've only done damage to once, and most people did block. But getting that extra draw, man, super important. Anytime you get an extra draw, I think it just helps you in just the biggest advantage possible. Um, a lot of people do misplay Osaragi. I did make a video where I believed Osaragi and Hisuke from the Sakamoto set were going to be the most misplayed cards, and turned out I was right. Hisuke was not being done properly. People were not activating main before snipe impact, which they were misplaying that, so they were not getting the impact, but we're getting the snipe. Osaragi was being misplayed because people think that when you play her, you AP draw because it's a when attacking effect. They don't realize the fine print that says it's only on the turn she's played. So you only get the damage to just once. You have to replay her, and that's why my version of the deck is so important because if she dies, Nagamo, bring her back. Now she's damaged to you again. I can just filter that over and over again. So that's the kind of the layout of my deck. Um, I I love every aspect of it. I think there might be a slight change that I'm looking forward to doing after some testing, but as of right now, I'm happy with this deck and I'm happy with what it did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So one question I do have that I noticed, you don't run the Shishiba raid. Tell me your thoughts
Yes.
behind that. What was that?
All right.
That's
So,
interesting.
man, I like I said, I've tested this deck so much. The Shishiba raid I did incorporate at one point. Being able to restand and just flood more was great. I think at one point during my locals when I was versing one of my buddies, shout out Voldy, because he helped me test a lot of my decks. Um, Shishiba raid just didn't it didn't really do it for this version of the deck. Just because I'm so heavily focused on flooding my board again with the same bodies over and over again. And then Sakamoto, I find active. So with this deck, if I'm not mistaken, I'm playing 14 active triggers. Technically, four of the one drop Nagumos can be, draw or active, but I consider them active. So I'm so fixated on finding active triggers to make my bodies 6K, 5K, 7K to run over Spear, run over Ava, Red Ava, Shinji, just run over any card and not be worried. The Shishiba would just give me two extra APs, but if I already have a full swarm board with three APs, I don't need extra APs unless I had special in my hand, of course. But usually, like 9 out of 10 times, my board was always full and I never needed extra APs. So that's why I did not play Shishiba in this version of the deck. I know some people do. I know Jason played his and he did fantastic, and I love his deck. But with this, I don't think I'm gonna need Shishiba.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, what do you think was one of your hardest matchups with this deck?
Man. So geez. The two decks I did not want to verse, I versed. Um and it was the first game too, which was my only loss was against my buddy Valdi, who's my locals, the guy I taught, and one of my best friends. So absolutely insane that he's using the deck that I don't want to verse. He's my first matchup out of 400 players. So he was playing Chihiro. Chihiro kind of puts a damp on this deck because it's so easy to kind of get rid of my board. I focus so much on my babies. So if I hit something and I didn't have an active trigger, color trigger. So during our match, I mean, he found the nuts. His life was insanity. There was nothing I could do. I board swarmed so many times that he just got rid of me. It was a pretty close game. He had two life left. I think I left him with, and then I couldn't do anything. I mean, he played so great, so amazing. So that was one of the decks I was not looking forward to. And then the second would be Yellow Ava. I mean, Yellow Ava is such a strong deck. I'm starting to kind of figure out how this deck can kind of move around it. I did verse it in the last match, which I want to shout out Mikasa. She was amazing. Her first regionals, her first big tournament, and she made it to the finals like that, and she did so well. So shout out to her. That Ray really puts me in a bind because if I get rid of Ray, he's just put another body, and it's a null impact. So it's a little difficult with those two decks. Every other deck was kind of fine. I think I ran in a couple of like other decks that I didn't really have any fear for. Shadow Army is we go in pretty okay with Shadow Army with this deck. It just really depends how Shadow Army performs. If it underperforms, obviously I can just swarm field. I don't even have to do active triggers. My 3Ks run over about 85% of the cards that are in it, besides Egress and obviously Jinu. Um, so those were the two decks that I was not really looking forward to, but everything else I went in pretty comfortably and we came out on top, luckily.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's. I'm glad to hear it. So, you said you had your invite already prior to this, right?
Correct, yeah.
So we'll be seeing you at nationals then.
100%. I will definitely be there.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Before we wrap it up, any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
I want to give a shout out to my entire West Palm Beach crew. We trained endlessly. I mean, I'm talking about everyday training, 3 weeks in a row. We had one intense training session where we had our own regionals, where we're trapped in my buddy's house. Shout out to my boy Willoy. Thank you for the training grounds. And we just played to our heart's content. Um, this I played this during our regionals, and I misplayed so hard that could have gave me the win, and that misplay honestly made me just relook at my deck, relook at my combos, and so I was happy for that. I definitely want to shout out my company that I have, SoFlo Slabs. So I started up my own YouTube channel. You guys can check it out. We're gonna start posting some content there. I want to shout out my boys, Valdi, Caleb, and Anthony. So I appreciate you guys being there, helping me build the deck the way it is. I want to shout out the rest of my entire crew that I did not mention, but I know you guys are gonna watch this later on. You guys are gonna grill me for it, so I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate HQ for giving me this interview. Thank you guys so much. Um, and that's about it.
Yeah, and we appreciate you being here. We'll definitely leave a link to your YouTube down below. That way, everybody can go check out your YouTube, ask you any questions they have. We're building a
Perfect.
community, so we all want to be growing together,
Yep.
right?
100%. Our UA community. I think UA is growing in a great pace. I see that TCG player UA just got put on the front page, which I'm really happy for. I think the game is growing great. I think we have a very fantastic community. I mean, I went to two regionals this year, and everyone's just friendly. So that's what I love. I love the idea that our game is not toxic. It's fun. We have a great friends. You can make friends easily. So I love it.
Are you going to any other regionals that are coming up at the moment?
Uh, so we are in the midst of talking about going to California.
Great, great.
It's
So
it's
are
it,
we.
it's 50-50. I do really want to go, just to earn one more Chihiro just for collection purposes. I definitely will be making some attendances at a couple of Wave 2 tournaments for sure.
Hmm,
Uh,
hmm.
I definitely plan on that just because I want to be able to get the whole collection of gold. Hopefully, I do top again. Uh,
Right.
just to get a whole set. That'd be really great. I'll definitely be at Nat with my boy Valdi, who also shout out again got an invite also.
We
So
love
I
to
will
hear it.
not. I do want to reiterate, especially to my friends, Kenshin is still retired from my hands. I will not be playing Kenshin anymore. That's it. Even with the Yahiko coming out, I want to be able to reiterate that I like I topped at Virginia with Kenshin. That's what I said I was gonna do. I made an interview saying I was retiring. Even with Yahiko, it's retired. It's not coming out. It's gonna stay in its pretty deck box. It's gonna keep its 3 stars and everything just sitting there. It's gonna collect dust.
Oof.
It'll be buried with me at this point. We're not touching Kenshin no more.
Well, we love to hear it. Definitely, this has been an amazing interview. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
being on the channel, of course. And I hope to
Thank you.
play
Thank you.
against you and see you at other regionals.
No, you're good. I don't want to verse you. I don't like. Listen, my whole regionals was versing good players, man. Everyone scared the hell out of me. I'm done. I'm retiring from versing good players, which is going to be about 99% of the all UA New Way community. Okay,
All
that's
right.
it.
With that, take it easy, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. Take care, and thank you again for being here. All
Thank
right.
you guys.